Hello, I'm Joe Walensky. I'm the program manager for Seattle's annual user experience conference called ConveyUX. So we're coming up on our 6th annual event, and that's February 27 and 28 and March 1, 3-day event in Seattle. And I get a chance to talk with our great speakers that will be on hand for that event, and I'm currently at my home office on Vashon Island near Seattle, and I'm speaking with Kai Haley. Hello, Kai. How are you doing today?
Hi, I'm doing great. Thank you.
Where are you speaking to us from today?
I am in Google's San Francisco office right here on the Embarcadero next to the Bay Bridge.
Well, it's good to have you as part of the program, and probably a good place to start would be to have you talk a little bit about your background and the types of things that you do at Google.
Yeah, so I have a background in interaction design and visual design. I've been at Google for 6 years. I currently lead a team called Design Relations, and we support the external design community who are building on our platforms. So people who are creating Android apps or assistant experiences or daydream experiences. We're basically a group of design advocates, and we work with our partners and advocate for UX and user-centered design processes. I'm also one of the leads of our Sprint Master Academy, which is an internal training program for Googlers, for the UX community, and I've been doing that for about 4 years now. It is a 20% project and really one of my passions. So I've trained close to 400 people at Google in the design sprint methodology since we established the Academy in 2014.
Well, the Academy sounds very interesting. It's something that I think a lot of people would enjoy if their organization had things like that. Could you talk a little bit more about the types of things that go on there and what the participants come away with?
Right now it's a one-day training followed by 3 months of mentorship. And we reserve that for UXers at Google that have been here for a year. So it's a pretty highly requested training right now. And when we go through the day training, UX leaders walk away with a deep understanding of the process, and most of them already understand the sprint process because we really rely on it and leverage it across all of Google. But they come away with an understanding of how to plan, facilitate, and run a really effective design sprint.
Well, so design sprints is that's a topic area or kind of a technique that I know a lot of people are familiar with from some of the evangelizing that you yourself have done for that. Sprints have been around for a long time, but what brought you around to the idea of how to make that work for designers?
Well, a design sprint as a process is actually really quite different from, say, like an agile sprint. And the methodology was really created over time at Google by a group of very passionate UXers who were trying to increase collaboration and increase user-centered processes for their teams and really figure out how to help teams move faster and really leverage user research and validation in their process. So it's something that has been developed and tested, pulling together different methods, really originating from design thinking and business strategy and user research. And so I personally have run a very large number of sprints, and it's something where each sprint is different, and you're really coming in and crafting and designing your sprint structure and set of methods based on the end goals that you set out at the beginning. So it really has deep roots in design process, and it's very much about condensing this design process and development process that you might spend 2 or 3 months on into 4 or 3 days, usually under a week. So it's a really fantastic way for teams to innovate and collaborate and move faster. I'm not one of the creators of the process, but initially, but I have definitely, developed my own approach to it, and that's I encourage each person who is interested in leading sprints and facilitating sprints to think about it as something that you make your own and you find the approach that works best for you.
Well, I think it's a really interesting approach, and I know that you're going to be bringing kind of a unique, original take, a variant on it with your talk, which is one of our feature presentations at the conference. The title, The Power of Design Sprints to Drive Ethical Design. Why don't you talk a little bit about how you came around to that topic and what we can expect to learn from you?
So design sprints are a really great tool for being very, as I mentioned before, very user-centered and user-focused. And they can also be leveraged to help a team, think more ethically and approach their product design decisions from an ethical perspective. The methodology is very flexible, and we've been working on creating new methods so that we can really build into the process a moment in time for a team to step back and really look at the ideas that they've generated and consider the implications of those design decisions beyond just, am I meeting my end user's needs, but how is this going to impact society overall, or how, what are the systems that this is working within? And I really strongly believe right now we need to be thinking this way more than ever, because we have so many new technologies that we just really are in the early stages of exploring, and there is lots of potential for unintended consequences of the design decisions that we make. And if we're very narrowly focused on just one user, we're not really thinking about the entire system that we're working within. My hope is that people will begin to look at design sprints as a great tool for building in the ability to take that ethical perspective into their design process. And at a very early stage, as a team, ask themselves questions such as, does the world need this? Is this a good thing? Is this going to create a better society? Are we going to not just meet an individual user's needs, but are we going to meet multiple stakeholders in this system, their needs as well? So I think it's a really powerful tool and useful tool for that, and I think many teams could adopt it and use it for positive impact in the world.
Well, I'm very interested in hearing your perspectives about this. It's important to me, and I know to people I work with, and I'm sure to the people that will be at the event as well. And I want to thank you for taking a few minutes to preview things with me and introduce yourself, and we'll see you in a couple of months in Seattle.
I'm very excited to be there. Really, really looking forward to it.
Thanks a lot, Kai.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you.